So we've now released support for two new classes in the SP-Dev framework. This is the cryptographic class and the key management class. These are two classes that used to be part of the encrypting PinPad class under XFS3, but under XFS4 that class has been split up into four different parts. Key management for encryption key handling, cryptographic support for data encryption and decryption, the keyboard class for actually dealing with the physical keyboard, and the PinPad class which deals with pin entry. So we're supporting the first two of those today, and we will support the other two very soon. So I'm going to give a demo here of that functionality. We're going to use a real ATM PinPad, encrypting PinPad. There's not very much to see when we're just encrypting data on a PinPad, so we'll switch across and just show the application running. Here you can see the classic demo setup. We've got the SP framework running on the left in the text box there, and we've got a little client application running on the right. We've actually got them both running on the same machine here just for convenience, but this would work fine across the network as well. We can start up the SP-Dev framework in the normal way, and then we can create a connection to it from the client application. One thing that's different in this client application you'll see is that we have a connection to a real host down at the bottom, those two Nexo boxes. That's because we're talking to a real PinPad hardware, which means we need a real host so that we can exchange keys. What we're going to show is something called TR34, key management key loading. TR34 is a standard which supports remote key loading using public key encryption. So the first thing we're going to do is exchange certificates between the two ends. The host wants to get the device's certificate, and the device needs to get the host certificate. So we can do that with this load certificate command. That's going to push the host certificate down to the hardware, and you'll see the device's certificate coming back up to the host as well. Once we've exchanged certificates and the two endpoints trust each other, we can then go ahead and load the master key. This is our first private secret symmetrical key. So we can load that. Once that's loaded, we can go ahead and use that key. In this case, we're going to load another key, so we can create a tree of keys, all of these loaded securely because of that initial TR34 step. Once we've got the working key loaded, we can then go ahead and use that, so we can take a block of data and encrypt it using that working key, and only the remote host which has got another copy of that secret key will be able to decrypt that data. So that's the most common operations with the key management and cryptographic classes, which are now supported. There is one final thing we support, which is less common but still important. This is the unbind command in TR34. Unbind allows you to split the link between the host and the hardware, which you might do if you were decommissioning a PinPad or moving a PinPad to a different host, something like that. So you wouldn't do this very often, but it is a very important operation, which is also supported by the XFS4 standard and the XFS4IoT SP-Dev framework. So that's all the features that we've added this month. There will be more coming around the PinPad in the next release. We think this is a very useful step forwards.